Tinder, aka Postmates for chlamydia. Tinder dates can be unpredictable. I mean, the only thing you know for sure when you meet up with a Tinder match is that they're not gonna look as good as they do in their profile pic. But now, Tinder wants to give you a little extra peek behind the curtain.
Tinder will soon let users run background checks on possible dates. Match, which owns Tinder, announcing an investment in Garbo. That's a nonprofit that aims to let people run checks with only their name and phone number. So this means that users will be able to vet dates with details such as their arrest record or history of violence. Background checks will not be free, but Match says that it's working on a price that will make it affordable for most users.
Yes! A Tinder background check, baby! This will help people avoid dating criminals, and it'll help criminals find other criminals to do crimes with. Aww. You know, if you ask me, it's about time that they started this feature. I mean, for one thing, it's way more efficient than what people have to do now to figure out if they're dating a criminal. So, are you into wine? Like, you know, have you ever made toilet wine? And if there are any guys out there going, wait, I don't want a woman knowing all this stuff about me before we even date, my man, trust me, they already know way more than a background check will tell them. Before a woman goes on a date with you, she and her friends have already scrolled through your Instagram and the Instagrams of everyone tagged on your Instagram. So they already know you still comment on photos of your prom date even though she has kids now. They know everything. And just to be clear, just because someone has a criminal history, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't date them, okay? I'm not saying that. In fact, depending on the crime, it might even make them pretty appealing. You know, like at first, you might swipe left on someone who did time for insurance fraud. But 900 horrible dates later, you're gonna come back to him like, hey, you know, insurance fraud is really one of the smart felonies when you think about it. Let's go out for that drink. Honestly, I want a background check that'll look for other warning signs besides criminal history. You know, like, do they kiss with their eyes open? Do they send you memes 3 weeks after they went viral? Are they obsessed with astrology? Or even worse, are they a Capricorn? Ugh. Speaking of people who could use a background check, the Catholic Church. As an institution, the church has been involved in many shady things over the past 2,000 years. You know, the Crusades, waterboarding babies, that priest who keeps walking into a bar, that guy has a drinking problem. But now, a major Catholic order is trying to make good on one mistake from its history.
As calls for reparations continue to grow across the U.S., Catholic priests have vowed to raise $100 million to benefit descendants of enslaved people. Leaders in the Catholic Church acknowledge that the institution was built on the backs of slaves, and they say this is a move towards racial healing.
It's a way of our asking for forgiveness and making reparations.
$100 million. That's huge. Do you realize how many pieces of art from the Vatican they're going to have to sell to raise that much money? Like, one? Still, this is great news. The Catholic Church not just recognizing that owning slaves was wrong, but making reparations to the descendants for exploiting their ancestors. And I bet it will be a wonderful moment when the church presents those descendants with the reparations. This money is for owning your great-grandfather. I thought this was for you guys touching us when we were kids. And I don't know how they plan to give out this money, but in my opinion, I think they should keep it simple. From now on, every collection plate goes directly to a black person. And that way, black people can supervise the whole process too. Yo, $2? Man, I saw you parking that Range Rover. Come on, man. Come on, do something. Moving on to news from Ireland, the country that ditched the royal family before Oprah's interview. If you've always wanted to visit the Emerald Isle for St. Patrick's Day, well, it turns out you're not the only one.
An Arctic walrus was spotted in Ireland. Experts with the Marine Conservation Society say this young walrus likely fell asleep on an iceberg and woke up miles away. So scientists with the Conservation Society say it's incredibly unusual to see the animals so far south. They say he looks fit and well fed and should be able to make the trip back home.
Aww. What an adorable story of a walrus that went on a bender, blacked out, and is lying to its family. Seriously though, seeing a walrus this far south is so cute. And the good news is that with climate change, this is going to happen more and more. We're going to get all sorts of Arctic animals floating down on melting icebergs. Walruses, polar bears, Santa's corpse. It's going to be so cool. You know, I bet accidents like this are how so many evolutionary leaps took place. Like, have you ever seen a tapir? Have you seen that thing? I mean, the only reason those things exist is clearly because at some point in history, an elephant drifted into a family of skunks, and they were all just like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And despite what everyone else feels, I don't feel bad for this walrus. I actually feel bad for all of his walrus friends in the Arctic. Yeah, because when he gets back, they're gonna have to listen to him going, Guinness just tastes better in Ireland. You guys have to go. Oh my God, the Guinness here is horrible. Real Guinness? Oh, guys, you haven't lived. And by the way, it's Ireland.